Real quickly, we're going to cover how you can press on your lower steering stem bearing without actually having a press. So to remove the original steering stem bearing at the bottom of your steering stem shaft here, this is my new bearing, so obviously I'm not going to go ahead and beat it with a hammer. But you can stick a little pry bar in here under the dust seal. Tap it with a hammer a few times. You know, here, flip the forks around, work your way around the back side of it, and slowly get a little gap underneath of it. That way you can take your pry bar and hit it up. The old bearing will come off. Doesn't matter how. You can also cut it with a cutoff wheel or whatever it is you want to do to get the old bearing off. Once you want to get the new bearing on, it's going to come down to right about here, and then it's going to stop because it's going to need pressed. What you can do if you don't have a press is you would take that, take a piece of pipe, slide it over the part of the old bearing, which is the same exact diameter as the inner portion of the new bearing. That way you do not mess up the actual bearing. Give it a couple taps, tap, tap, tap. You'll see it start coming down. You also want to make sure your new dust seal is in place because it's not coming back off in one piece. It might take 5 taps, might take 25 little taps. We're not beating it with a hammer, you're just gently tapping it. After the bearing is seated, which you can see mine is, from there again, you would simply take your pry bar, hit up on the parts you just used to press, and you're ready to go. Because the upper steering stem bearing does not need pressed, you're done. So I hope this gets somebody out of a jam that's trying to change a bad steering stem bearing or upgrade to a new steering stem bearing and simply just does not have a press and thinks, well, now I got to pay a shop, you know, 30, 40, 50, 100 to press it, and whenever they feel like it, you know, whenever they can fit it into their schedule, which is not always convenient for you because you want to get your bike back together. So it's not very hard. Like I said, really all we used is an old piece from the bearing after it was off, or if you cut yours, you can use the one from the top. Little pry bar, small sledge, and a little piece of pipe. That's all it takes. And as you can see, this is extremely thin aluminum pipe, and we barely even bent the top of the pipe, because it only takes a few light taps to get the bearing to seat into place, and you're good to go. So again, hope this helps you out. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.